Amazing Women Speak podcast, inspiring and motivating every Black woman to own, honor, and execute her amazing individually and collectively as it was established at birth.
Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday. This is Crystal Gunn, and you are listening to Amazing Women Speak. So happy to be here with you all today, and can't go any further without talking about our sponsor, the Amazing Woman Network, where we strive to unite and empower Black women globally, reclaiming our personal power, mind, body, and spirit, reclaiming our financial power, and increasing our social involvement. Again, I am Crystal Gunn, your financial strategist and host of Amazing Women Speak. Our topic today is all about Black woman entrepreneurship and what it's like, the cost to be the boss. And we have some super dope Black woman entrepreneurs here. And let's find out who we have with us today.
Good evening. This is Michelle Harper. Once again, it is my pleasure to be in company with you this evening to have some more conversation with some amazing women. I am the owner and operator of Agency Fitness, LLC, where we invite women, encourage, and empower them to own their agency, to recognize what it takes to be courageous, faithful, bold, and owning every step that they take. Once again, we have some dope women in this conversation with us who are going to help us talk about the cost of being the boss. Deborah, come on in and introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you for allowing me to come on to the show. My name is Deborah Crowley. I'm the owner of Exclusive Cleaning Services, where we provide residential and commercial cleaning here in Livonia. I have a nonprofit organization. It's called Exclusive Elderly Services, where we provide services for our seniors. It's like a one-stop location for seniors to get assistance in their daily living, helping them out, do whatever needs to be done so they can live a healthy life. Also, I'm a G100 city chair for the city of Livonia for the state of Michigan and Ladies of Justice Ambassador and Subcommittee. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice. Welcome, and I'm excited to hear more about all of the ways in which you are out here bossing it up. Mia, come on in and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here with you ladies, amazing ladies. My name is Mia Sharfner, and I am the owner of Sipping Inspirations. We are a unique, I want to say, sensory infusion where we're here to help women to really and truly enjoy their pampering themselves, and also wanted to bring back just a little bit of yesteryear, bring back some of our grace and poise to our communities that sometimes we don't see that often.
Absolutely.
And my 9 to 5, pretty much, I am a program manager. I've been with my company for the past 25 plus years. I do a great bit of work. A great bit of work, well known, so which is a plus and also a minus at times. And I'm a mom of two beautiful girls.
Awesome. Thank you. So this conversation tends to go really fast. So we're going to jump in and go deep right out of the gate. And so, Deborah, I'm going to invite you in first. Tell us what it was like the moment you recognized you were the boss.
Oh, wow. It took a long time, believe it or not, to recognize that I was the boss, because working in corporate for over 30-something years, I had to rethink about me being the owner of a company. Believe it or not, this is how much we are programmed in the corporate world or working in for someone. I wouldn't go to lunch. Like at 2:00, I'm like, okay, it's time for you to go to lunch. Go out, go get something to eat. Whereas a business owner and a boss, you could go to lunch anytime you want to go to lunch. You could go wherever you want to go. But I was so programmed, guys, where I didn't even go to lunch. And then a friend of mine said, "Do you know you could go to lunch anytime you want?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." So it took a minute for me to really realize it. I'm just that type of person that I get in and do what needs to be done and not think about all that and being the boss. That's my humble side of me. But it took a minute for me to realize that. And that's when I really said, okay, girl, you're the boss. You can do whatever you want to do. So it took a minute for me.
Thank you for that. So, Facebook, remember this conversation goes to another level when we get to hear from you. And so we are monitoring the chat. We welcome your comments and your question as we begin to talk about the cost of being the boss. So, Maya, what was it like for you the moment that you recognized?
And I'm going to say Mia.
Mia, yes,
We had just had this conversation.
correct, right?
We had this
Which is why she
conversation.
was right there.
Correct, right?
But it's so amazing that you would say that because I often have to correct people in terms of pronouncing my name. I always reference my name was given by my mom, of course, and she was a fan of Mia Farrow, and so that's where that came from. So I generally remind folks Mia.
As
in
you
Mia
should
Farrow.
always, right? Our parents were intentional.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. The question one more time, sorry.
Absolutely, no apologies. So, what was it like for you the moment you recognized you were the boss?
I would say initially I would have to piggyback off of what Deborah said. I just didn't realize I was in boss mode, if you will, because I'm so used to working for a boss. And now having to be in that position of a boss, it took a minute to get used to it. It took a minute to get used to being able to set your own schedule and to be the person to make that final decision for whatever it is that you're doing within your company. And I would say within the past year and a half, is when I realized that, okay, I am a boss. And I'm doing some boss moves. and it's both scary and also liberating, if you will.
Right?
So, yeah.
Right, yeah. So being a black woman, being the boss, finding yourself still being marginalized in the spaces that you're showing up, and then recognizing, nope, it is my voice that's going to shift, whatever, right? Because it's all on me.
Yes.
So let's begin to talk about some of what that cost has been as we've grown our businesses and we've encountered the obstacles along the way. What has been some of the cost for us?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a good one.
Sanity. Because how many times do you say, okay, really, am I insane for even trying to do this?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Over and over again. And you got to go back and you got to check yourself and say, okay, well, wait, there is a reason why I'm doing this. And for me, it's not just about me.
Yeah.
So, because good Lord, sometimes I want to say, you know what, just throw it all away. I'm done. Because it in some instances, I think it's easier to work for someone,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? Now, I always say this, I don't know many people who outside of Michelle who said they actually loved their day, their job. But sometimes it's easier to say, you know what, maybe I should just go back and work for somebody else. And
Yeah.
you have that, well, me anyway, I have that thought and then I'm like, are you kidding me? That's a different level of insanity for me.
Right? Like, hence the retirement.
It hits the retirement. It's like, nah, I can't go back. So
Deborah, what has some of the costs been for you?
Oh, wow. I'm like Crystal. It's so many. Clarity of understanding that you're out here to help people get jobs, also to help yourself, self-assurance, personal development. There's so many avenues. I've had so many obstacles with even, I have 23 employees. And one employee, I was sharing this with Crystal, male employees. They have an issue with a female boss. So I've gone through some obstacles with me telling them what to do. it's to a point where, and I could give you guys so many stories, and that's how you'll understand the obstacles. One employee came to me, I sent out a memo, and it was about policies and things that we need to follow in our company. He came to me and said, I didn't appreciate you sending out that memo. I don't think it was appropriate. And I go, okay, so what did you think was the issue? He said, I thought you were just talking about me because of our conversation previously. And I said, when I send a memo, yes, when I send a memo out, it's for everyone, not just for you. Please understand that. But here's the thing. I already knew how this employee is, and that's the obstacles of business, not an obstacle, but understanding and listening to your employees just to see where their head is. I already knew that he had an issue with me being a boss, his boss. So I had to literally tell him in a nice way, remember, I signed your check. I am boss. And I never do that because I don't think that I have to. But at that moment, I had to say that to him because I knew he had a problem with me being his boss. Guess what? After that, he went out. He looked at me and he went out and he came back with flowers and apologized. So sometimes you got to do it. Yeah. Sometimes you got to go there, that obstacle. And just even being in corporate, seeing women in board meetings. I used to work for McDonald's Corporation and Xerox Corporation, and seeing women not able to have their seat at the table. And I find that sometimes when I'm going to speak to clients, they look at me as a female, but when you go in there and you talk your talk and know what you're talking about, as far as I know cleaning like the back of my hand, you know what I mean? So they can't say anything, but you can feel the energy in the room, the negative energy, but you got to flip that. And it's so many different obstacles as being a female boss. It really is. It's so many stories that I could tell you, but we don't have time for all that. I have some more for you. Thank you.
That's a show by itself.
Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Samia, what have been some of the costs for you?
Some of the costs for me, I would say, I was just reading not too long ago Rick Ross' book.
That was a great book.
And a newfound respect for him.
It was.
Seriously.
Yeah, me too. When I read it, was a great book.
And one of the things that stuck out to me, which was so true about as far as being a boss, that you have to, of course, be focused. And he talked about tunnel vision, and in that he called it both a curse and also a blessing. You know, because sometimes you can. The blessing part of it is you're focused, you're intentional, you're moving forward with meeting your goals and making different things happen for your business. But at the same token, then you suffer other things such as relationships and friendships, or not being able to participate in a lot of different things, whether it's with family or just, you know, taking time for yourself sometimes because you're so involved in trying to make sure that, you know, you're keeping up with whatever business that you're in and with whatever new stuff that is coming around. And so I was able to relate to that. And one of the things for me, as far as the cost, is costly being a boss. It is costly being a boss, and not just monetary, but just with your physical strength, is your mental strength, your emotion, everything that it takes in order for you to be a productive and a wonderful boss. You know, I've worked for many bosses, and you do your takeaway in terms of what worked and what didn't work. I had one boss one time told me, he was like, I have an open door policy. You know, and so I let him say that. You know, I was like, okay, are you finished? And I said, you have an open door, but you don't have an open door policy. I walk past your door, it's open, but there's nothing saying that I can come to you with my grievances or with my concerns or what can we do to make things better in the workplace. You don't have that energy. You know, and he turned beet red, you know, but after a while, it is what it is, and that's what it was. And I remember getting a call from one of my former bosses, no, a new manager that was coming into the automotive industry, and they were launching a new department. And so someone had told her about me, and she called me that day, and she said, "Hey, I have a position for you. Would you be interested?" And I was like, "Okay." I said, "But I think I may have an issue with my current boss." And she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I got that. I'll take care of that." And within 5 minutes, she called me back. "Okay, so you start next Monday at X, Y, and Z. I'll see you here. You're going to move your things out to the to our bigger office out in Southfield." And it was just so amazing from what I took from her is that, okay, whatever you say you want to do and you are going to do, being a boss is holding to your word. Being a boss is being in command, not in a negative sense, but, okay, don't worry about that. I got that. That's not even an issue. The question is, do you want the position? And so moved on, and he and his family got relocated to Europe, and I sent him an email. "I wish you and your family the best." And even now to this day, when he see me, Mia, one of those things like that. But he still has that good old boys mentality. But it's just costly being a boss. And again, it's not just monetary, but it's everything else that's involved in that.
100%. And so being the boss starts right where you are, right? It doesn't require employees. It doesn't require a moniker. It doesn't require an LLC. You have to first become the boss of you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And there's a cost of not being that, right? And so before we dive out here and have businesses and really think about entrepreneurship, what is the cost of being your own boss, right? And how do you get really good at that before you start opening your doors to invite others in? Because Mia, much like you're talking about some of those folks that you worked with who were less than great, right? Deborah, you talking about employees not recognizing your worth, your value as a person who's signing checks. There's some work and learning we have to do for ourselves before we open the doors to business for others if we want to be sustainable, respected. We already have so many hills we have to climb. We're Black, we're women, right? Like, let's get us to those two, right? And like moving this stigma around what it means to have a business in the Black community and how they already see us, right? Yes. That our service is going to be less than, right? Or that we should be lucky, so give me the hookup.
Right.
God.
Right? The cost of being the boss.
You said that question is great in statement, being the boss of yourself first, right? Which takes a lot of self-work. And a lot of people don't like to do the self-work.
Right.
Because it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard. But in order for you to be effective at being the boss, you gotta put in that hard work. You have to be able to, because people are gonna challenge you. I don't care where you are, what you do, they're going to challenge you somehow, some way. And how do you, quote unquote, stand up for that challenge if you don't know who you are because you haven't done the self-work, right? To be your own boss first. How do you stand up to that?
Right? Because if you can't manage your own emotions, behaviors, thoughts, how do you intend to do that for those who you're now signing checks for?
Right.
Right?
Right.
So what is some of that work? Like, what is some of that work? Deborah, come on in here.
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one. Being apologetically me. In business with myself, working on a lot of personal development, I found so much about myself even before I started the business. But I had to work on me. And even more so now, working on me before, like you said, you can have all the employees in the world, but if you don't know your self-worth, you're in trouble. That's why I can stand today and said I am unapologetically me. more confident than I've ever been before, but it took a long time. It took a lot of personal development. It took a lot of reading. It took a lot of going into different associations such as ON and G100 and being around women who are powerful, who are thinking like I think. Who are motivating. So you have to just be around people who will uplift you. And it took a minute for me to do that. Like I said, working on personal development, reading books constantly every day, feeding my brain something that can make me be that boss or be that that powerful, empowered woman. I wrote down some words for myself, and I do that all the times every day. I'll put words like driven, determined, passionate, creative, open-minded. I have to do affirmations every day when I get up in the morning because I know I have to come in here to face different problems because every time my employees, even anybody in my office or even customers, they have issues. And it's always a problem. So I have to be a problem solver. So I really have to mentally get myself right before I come in here. Even in my car, before I come in, I pray. You know what I mean? I have to pray. And I even had someone to come in my office and pray on my office. You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be something. So like I said, you have to work on personal development and read the books. Brene Brown,
Yes.
excellent book,
Yes.
Dare to Unapologetically Ambitious. Kelly, I can't pronounce her name. Umbre. That's an awesome book too. But you definitely have to have that focused mind, or else you can't lead anyone if you can't lead yourself. Also, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Incomplete.
I like that. I like that.
That was good. If your compassion doesn't include yourself.
Incomplete.
Yeah. I that whole self-development piece, I'm an advocate of having personal coaches throughout your life because you can't always see your way through something. And that personal coach can bring that out of you or be that mirror to show you, well, wait a minute. Yeah, you don't think that you're this amazing, but you absolutely are. And let me show you. Right. So yeah, I'm a true believer and advocate of personal coaching and again, that personal development and going through that cycle of in that self-discovery because you're still not you're not the same person that you were 5 years ago. You're not the same person that you were 10 years ago. So you're constantly going through these cycles of self-development and getting to know yourself again and remembering who you are because it's been said that we come here with everything that we need, right? And we forget about it. And so a lot of times you think you're learning something, but you're actually remembering something. So you have to go back through that self-development and self-discovery so that you continue elevating up so that you also can impact, empower, and help others elevate up as your employees and your staff.
Absolutely.
So Facebook is starting to chime in here. The I'm supporting you syndrome, right? We provide superior service and products. I am not a discount.
I'm not a discount.
Right? Like, I like that for my own tag.
Yeah.
For my own life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That people expect to get the discount out of me, right? Yeah. Thank you for that, Facebook. Like, I'm stealing that. I need to tag myself with that one.
And what is it that we think that we even have the right and walk in with the audacity to ask that Black-owned business for that discount? Because I know you. Can you give me?
Right.
Can I get a hookup? Can I get a discount? No. And you walk into every other store that's owned by everybody else that doesn't look like you, and you dare not ask. But how do you deal with that? When the people that know you come and say, hey, can I get a discount? Hey, can I get a hookup?
Hookup.
Well, this product is not for you at this time. If you want to come back
Right.
next week, we can work something out. But as it stands, because if I start discounting
bills.
you, the next thing I know, I'm out of business.
Yes.
But it takes a moment to get there. It takes what I would consider getting burnt, if you will.
Right.
Of getting there. And I think it was Steve Harvey that once said, he was like, you got to get your feelings out of it when it comes to your family, or it comes to your friends, and everyone wants to latch on to you. And even if you do offer that discount, maybe that one time, but then they'll come back expecting it to be all the time. And it's like at some point you have to say no.
Yeah. So if you just start out saying no from the beginning.
Right. So if you start from the beginning, it's like, no, but if you want to, if you want to hold on, come on back. I'm here.
Right? Once you get your coins together.
Right. Once you get your coins together, right.
Girl, we can work
Because
something
this
out
perhaps isn't the product or service for you.
at this time.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
At
that.
this time, you can always come back.
I put a bill in front of me every time I look at the bill like, what?
I like-
Right? So I remember when I first got certified as a trainer, and I was thinking about, once people pushed me into doing this in a business format, right? And
I wonder who that was.
and
Sounds so familiar.
right? And I have a really good friend who I have known for a really long time. And I was talking to him about price point sessions, right? And the personal training business is lucrative.
yeah.
It is not a cheap business. And so I was like, I'm new, right? Like, I need to offer a lower hourly rate because I'm new. He was like, your certification costs exact amount as mine.
Yeah.
What's your worth in this work? What do you intend to do? How do you intend to change lives? Is that a discount or is that a full price service?
It's a full price
oh.
service.
It's a full price.
Thank you.
service.
Thank you very much.
And here's the other thing. As somebody who has cussed throughout your workouts, right?
Right.
You're not offering less than that other person who paid that just because you're new. You're not offering less than that, so you shouldn't discount your services.
So how do you get beyond that, right? Like being new to an industry, being new to the services that
Yeah.
you're providing, right? Deborah, the first time somebody asks you to send somebody out to do their business or clean their home, right? How do you overcome that to say, right? Like whether I've been on the block 1 day or 10 years,
Right.
this is my price and I'm holding to that.
Oh, wow. So many people ask for discounts. When they call our company for cleaning, usually we charge $85 an hour, a minimum of 2 hours. And I have a lot of people, and believe it or not, the people that live in mansions want to only pay $30 or $40 to get a 4-bedroom or a 5-bathroom. And I just break it down to them. Yeah, it's crazy. Believe it or not, they really want you to come in and do that. And I just tell them, I explain what we do, because a lot of times I see the cleaners come in and they're tired and I already know what they do. And I tell them, well, this is what we charge. We're licensed, bonded, and insured. We provide a thorough background check for all our employees. And I say licensed, thorough background check because it costs to do all that.
Right.
And then, it costs for that. And I said, we've been around for a long time, almost 15 years. I got to tell them that. And then if they don't accept it, I'm sorry. Maybe this relationship is not going to work. I hope you find someone that can pay that rate and do a good job. Give us a call back if you need us in the future. 9 times out of 10, they call us back. 9 times out of 10, they call it back. But I don't settle anymore. I used to, because I didn't understand the value of me and also my company. Now, you can't try that with me. You have to pay, because I'm sorry. But yeah, my cleaners, I look at them and they're tired and I have to pay them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to pay our prices. If you know your worth and you know what your employees or yourself, you know your worth, you got to stay at that price. And I tell all my friends too, they look at me every time they're doing something or creating a book or doing anything. I'm like, how much are you charging? Deborah, you're always asking us that. I said, no, we can't give everything away. It's okay to give things away, but you have to pay for your time. You know what I mean? Did you pay for gas to go drop off a book, or did you pay, you know what I mean, set up for the podcast or whatever? Didn't you pay for that? Yeah, I got a membership. Okay, just get that money back. Ask for a donation if you're scared to ask for a certain amount. Thank you. I
But
could go on
ultimately,
about-
you can't be in business if you're not going to ask for because you're not going to last very long. Just from a business standpoint, the price is the price.
Yeah, I had to learn that.
Right, but there's a fear in that, right?
It is,
Because
yeah.
if I offer the
Absolutely.
discount, if I don't offer the discount, I might lose, right? And very early in business, right? Like you're like trying to get all of the wins, you're trying
Yeah.
to build a clientele or you're trying to build a customer base. So that challenge is I'm afraid that they'll say no to the
Yeah.
price, right? Like, so there's that risk that you have to be willing to take. And that's what I'm talking about, the importance of doing that work up front.
Yes.
Because you have to calculate all of those risks, right? How long can you afford to hold firm to your no, right? And if you can't hold long enough or cast a wide enough net to get a bigger base of folks interested, right? Like how long? Maybe we need to slow down and rethink that maybe now's not the time.
Right.
We don't want anyone, especially black women, failing at this, right? So be willing to ask each other, be willing to, again, do that work that's going to really help you determine, is this the right time for me? Because if I want to be successful, right? Like at some point, you're offering all of the discounts and people see your service
Right.
as discounted.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good.
And there's some high end stores that people that you're never going to get a discount in.
No.
It's absurd. You're not going to get it, right? The price is the price. But from a previous episode and what you said just made me think about it. The yes is costly. So the yes to the saying, well, yeah, you can have this discount, or yeah, you can,
But it
it becomes costly to you and to your business, but it also becomes costly to what you think about you,
Correct.
and your business.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can relate to the fear part of it, the fear of pricing or the fear of putting your products together and also charging because, again, you're thinking, I'm new to this, I want to build up a clientele and I had my personal coach who pulled my coattail to basically say, no, let's think about this. You have to think about the time that you're putting into this personal tea box or the time it takes to blend the teas. You're not getting supermarket teas. You're getting tea leaves and you're actually blending and customizing, towards your customers. So that takes time. That's energy. That's your energy going into your product. So you have to consider that. So I'm grateful and thankful to my personal coach, for putting the pause there to say, okay, don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. You're offering a product, and this is what it is going to cost. And to be able to stand with that and on that, whether it's with family, like I said, I love you all dearly, but come see me when you do it. Right?
Don't come over here asking for a discount.
I need a person. Can I get a tea box? Okay, when do you need it? Or if you want to do it today, fine. If you're not, if you need time, we can make some accommodations for that. But the price is not changing.
Price is the
The
price.
price is the price.
So Pamela on Facebook says people do not value what they're unwilling to pay for.
True.
Right? Think about the things that cost you the most. They're the things you take care of the
Absolutely.
best, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's how we should be thinking about our businesses, right? That's how we need to be thinking about the worth of who we are going into our businesses. People are going to pay
Yes.
for what they believe is value added to them. And so, right, like maybe my service just isn't the value add
Yeah.
for you right now.
Right.
And that's okay, right? So what advice do we give to women getting started, right? Thinking about some of the lessons that you've learned, what is some of the advice we give to women who are starting out, who are considering, right? They've done the work. We're going to assume that part.
The self work.
Right? They've done that part, right? Like now I'm ready.
That's key.
What advice are we giving the ladies?
Go out there and see who else is doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, there's room for more than one of us?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that part.
But no one does
part.
it like you.
Correct, right?
No
I
one
don't
does
care
it
that the
like
market
you.
is saturated.
Yeah.
Right.
And it could be 15 people in that market doing quote unquote the exact same thing that you're doing. Like you said, Mia, no one does it like you. And you all don't even know all of the same people anyway.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
it's, you don't even know the same people.
Right.
You don't have the same market. So, and I once had to tell someone, you couldn't even handle a larger market share if you tried, not where you are right now. So don't worry about who else is out there doing whatever it is. You are right here handling this market share that you can handle. So figure out, but look at what those that are doing what you do charge, and then charge more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But you got to do that. You have to do that research. What are the services that you're offering? And then do more and charge more, right? Because again, for me, everything is an experience. And so what's going to make me different than this other person that does boxes or cleaning services? How do I do that? And then, upcharge. And when you know who your customer is, your customer doesn't have a problem with paying for it.
No.
I mean, you're going to have those crazy people in the mansions that's going to want to spend $30 to get their house clean. But at the end of the day, you know, and they know it costs more than that. They just want to see what they can get. Well, you can't get that here. Go somewhere else.
Right, right. Especially from the black woman. I can talk her down.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like no, not today. One of the things that I would advise anyone that's starting out, as Miss Crystal was saying, is to to do your research and also participate in different events that in the field of what you're doing. Check out some of the seminars and some of the conferences that they may have. I didn't know that they had a whole tea conference that they do in Vegas every year. I mean, seriously, and it's one thing that I've learned, and my mom actually, and also my pastor said this to me. It was like, whatever it is that you want to get into, or whatever it is that you venture off into, it's worlds to it. And it is so true. If you're getting off into physical fitness, if you're getting off into empowerment, if you're getting off into the cleaning industry or into the tea business or what have you, worlds will start to open up. And so you want to be a part of those worlds and seeing what's happening within that world. And as you're building your business, then you're taking a little bit of what you are bringing in, or what you are actually absorbing in terms of how to grow your business. So there's a whole world out there, and there's worlds, in your business. And so whatever that business is, I don't care if you are a janitor just sweeping, at the church or whatever, there's a whole world, to the cleaning business. And so I would just say, find out what those worlds are, and experience that world, and do the homework.
So, Deborah, Mia mentioned having a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you have? What was that like for you?
Believe it or not, I had a coach tell me about, I paid him too. When I first came from corporate, when I opened up the cleaning company, I went to a coach to tell me how to run a business. Even though in corporate, I was learning everything that I needed to know about opening a business, but I had a coach. Also, too, I had a board. I have a board for my cleaning company. Mm-hmm. People ask me, well, why do you have a board for a cleaning company? Because I don't know everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I ask them questions about different things, and they help me to make decisions, just like we were talking about the pricing. Don't get me wrong, I was fearful about pricing people too, but they coached me along the way. Mm-hmm. I've had several different coaches, mentors, like Crystal said, make sure you have mentors. Yeah. Before I opened the cleaning company, I went to a class on business plans, doing businesses, how to open up a business, doing my own website. I went to a class for that. And like I said, like you asked, I had a coach too as well, and my board. My advice too is celebrate the small wins. Mm-hmm. When you make the logo, that's a win. Yeah,
right.
You know, when you write down your mission statement, that's a win. Mm-hmm. Be courageous. Own your seat at the table. Yes. Plan of action, and stay focused. A lot of people didn't even know I was opening up a company because I had to stay here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People were like, can you go here? Can you do this? Can you do that? Stay focused. Stay focused on the prize.
Yeah.
Great advice. Great advice. So, success doesn't happen out of the gate, right? The cost of being the boss is some of the pitfalls. some of the lessons learned along the way. What were some of those, and what are you willing to share to help somebody else to prevent some of what we went through to get to where we are?
Silenced everybody. Timing. I think timing is crucial. Your mom always says all things in God's timing, and sometimes you'll get this vision, this thing of what you know you're supposed to do, and I believe that it shows up to let you know this is what's supposed to happen, but I had to learn that it happens in timing. Because you see it today doesn't always mean it happens today.
Yeah.
Because there's preparation for it to happen. And part of that preparation goes back to the self-growth and self-development. But timing is key.
Deborah, what about you?
A lot of people ask me, how do you balance all that?
Ooh,
And I
come on
say
with
to
that.
them, balance. Something is always going to be left out when you're trying to balance something.
Yeah.
So I just try to prioritize. What's my next right move? What's the next thing I need to do? What's the next problem that I have to solve? Like she said, timing is so key. I was talking to one of my mentors and she was saying, Deborah, this is what I need you to do. From the time you get up in the morning until the time you close your eyes, I need you to write down everything that you did that whole day. And I want you to tell me how many hours or how many minutes you have free, how many things that you can delete from your whole day. And I did that, guys. And I had maybe about 5 extra hours to do something different.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't know that because I was so busy.
Busy, right?
Yeah.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Right.
Absolutely. That
So,
trap.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
trap.
So, like she said, timing and people always saying balance. There's no such thing as balancing.
True
It's like I
story.
said, something left out.
Yeah, we've talked about that for
Yeah.
sure, right? And so being okay at the end of the day with the thing that got left out is what you have to begin to wrestle with. And maybe it becomes a priority the next day. Right?
Yeah.
So Mia, what about you?
I would have to agree with the timing piece as well. And the other piece is getting caught up in the world of what everyone else is doing. It seems like everyone, this business is going, is taking off, and I'm still, trying to get things together, and getting into that type of, I wouldn't necessarily call it a rut, but getting into that cycle of thinking that you have to keep up. And timing is so key, because if it's not the time, things are not gonna mesh. They're not going to fall into sync. They're not going to fall into sync with one another. But when the timing is right, doors are open. You have clarity in terms of how you want to do your business. You had time to really and truly think about how you want to navigate your business. And if you're caught up in what say for instance, myself and someone else started business at the same time, and they're just, they're on a roll as it seemed, but we don't know. But then I had to think about it. Do I want that 15-minute of fame, or do I want to create something that's going to be here forever?
Right.
For my family, for my daughters, for now my granddaughters. My granddaughter, am I building something that's going to sustain and be sustainable for them as they come along, And so with that in mind, it takes some of the pressure off trying to get things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to be like this. And for a long time, I was in that mode, like, oh my God, I got to do this. And when you do that, you make mistakes, and there are pitfalls, and things don't work out and it's not good.
And they're costly.
And they're costly. You know, it's like now I got 100 things of jars that I really and truly didn't need.
Right.
If I took the time out to just breathe, you know, then my approach would have been a lot different. So for me, I now know that everything is in its timing. And when you have those moments when it doesn't seem like anything is going on, trust and believe things are going on. Things are happening. And again, it took my personal coach to basically go over the things that her and I had talked about, my goals, and she had to remind me, here's what you've accomplished thus far. You know, and so I think it's really pivotal to have someone to be able to do that, to help you take a look at within that rearview mirror, to look back and see where you started to where you are and see what you have accomplished in between that time. There's a reason why that rearview mirror is small, because you're not supposed to stay there. You're just only supposed to get a glimpse, you know, in order to do, okay, all right, now move on. And that's why, you know, that window in the car, that front window is so large, is because it's so much more to see and to do, you know, so they both serve a purpose. So that was one of my lessons.
Wow.
If I may. I think another thing too, stop worrying about what people are going to say.
Yeah.
That's your idea.
Because they're going
And
to say
that's your
something either way.
They're going to say something either way. Just start it. And if you fail, I mean, it's not a failure, it's practice.
Right.
You're learning.
Exactly.
If
Right?
you don't fail,
Dress rehearsal.
you don't learn, right?
Right.
If you don't fail at whatever,
Yeah.
there's some part of that business that you're going to fail at. That's part of that learning. You have to do it. Now, having someone coaching, mentoring, all of that, okay. We've heard the word mentoring on here a couple times. Y'all, stop asking people to be your mentors.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to pay them, because here's the thing: you're taking away from what they're doing. They're feeding into you. They're planting a seed. Now, if someone comes to you and just gives you information and wants to help, that's one thing. But when you call somebody up and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a business mentor," are you?
Right.
like someone.
oh boy.
Because you want them to give you the knowledge, you want them to coach you, you want them to make things, I don't want to say necessarily easier for you, but you want them to do everything that that coach or consultant does for you
Yeah.
for free. The cost is the cost. But part of that you have to understand is you have to invest in you.
Yes.
That's investing in you is the biggest and the best investment that you'll ever make. So to get that knowledge, to get that, go out there and get it and pay for it. I'm not saying you can't have a mentor.
Right.
But when you call someone and ask them to mentor, before you do it, just think back, well, what is it that you want from them? How much time? How much? And then what could they be doing in that time? Right. And so, yeah, cut out on the mentorships and the discounts. Because here's the other thing. There's a lot of organizations that offer mentorships. Right? There's a lot of I mean, if you in the Detroit area, Tech Town has a whole lot of stuff going on that you can go down there and get mentorships. But when you then, and I'm not saying not having a conversation with somebody, but when you want them to over and over and over and over again pour into your business and pour into you.
Yeah. There's a difference between advice and mentorship.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You gotta do it. So I have a question. And this is for each of you. What is that fear, that hurdle, that pause, that how did you overcome it? Because we all have them. What do you do to overcome them when they show up or when they showed up?
Oh.
Yeah, we start with you, Mia.
I'm big on music. I'm oh my God, it's life for me. And what gets me through is not only music, but just having a spiritual connection and a relationship with God. I mean, really, first and foremost, and I don't make any apologies for that. Everyone wants to be politically correct when it comes to talking about God, but that is just, He's my source. And so, and He will lead you to those that will mentor you, if you will. He would lead you into a circle of friends that will be able to pour into you, to be able to help you through. And sometimes even those areas that you don't see. Of course, I have my mom and just different loved ones, but my music for me is big for me. I would do morning inspirations all the time, and it's just me sharing just some of the how I get my day started. If it's me and Kirk Franklin that day, it's me and Kirk Franklin. If that afternoon, if it's me and Drake, then it's me and Drake. It's whatever I'm feeling at that moment. But I'm very big on lyrics and words. And right now, what's been carrying me or holding to me, and especially since the birth of my granddaughter, is blessed by Maverick City and Kirk Franklin. And when you listen to the words, I'm all for the beat too. I'm all like that. I could be from classical, from Mozart to, seriously, I have a playlist that's out here. But in that song, Bless, it says, bless those that are all around me. So it's not just me asking for myself that I be blessed, or my business, or just my immediate family, but all of those that are around me, all of us that are at the table, be blessed, that He bless all those that are around me, And so that's what I've been thumping. That was what I was thumping on my way here. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what helps me, and that's what carries me, and that's what helps me get through those hurdles and those moments of pause. And I had a really dark time, if you will. Last year, my mom got sick, and then I ended up getting sick, and then it's like business wasn't even on my mind. My business wasn't on my mind. And then when I got to a place, okay, well, now I want to get back into the realm of things. I just felt like almost like a underdog, if you will. Like I really and truly have to catch up, and that's I had that feeling of I got to do this, and that anxiousness in itself just created some anxiety that I just didn't need. And so I'm grateful and thankful for my personal coach for really and truly coaching me through those. So between my music and my personal coach, we in here.
Oh, wow. For me, like she said, music. Sometimes I'll turn on Tasha Cobb. He knows my name.
Yes.
And that just takes me somewhere. The music, the lyrics, and that, because I have to give it all to him, and I have to turn it over to him, because sometimes I just can't handle it myself.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I've had some times where I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And thinking about my story, the things that I've gone through in my life. Brother passed away, mother passed away right after COVID. And then things just got crazy. And I listened to Stormy Wellington. You guys got to listen to her. And she talks about BF, belief and faith. And that's what I truly had to focus on too. And I had to focus on, like she said, the people around me too. So sometimes as a boss, you have to be that stronger individual too, as well. So listening to music, and also my grandkids. My sons must think I'm crazy because I have 2 grandsons and a new son. So I call them when I get in a crunch or I feel fearful. I pick up the phone and call and say, can I just hear their voice? Because you know why? That's my legacy.
That's right. Yeah.
Those are the ones that I'm working for. So when I hear their voice, it just energizes me. It does something to me. And they don't know that, because they're like, Mom, okay, she's obsessed. But they don't know that I need to hear their voice to keep it going. But you just belief and faith, and sitting back and stop, and sitting down and stop, because that used to be me just running around trying to figure out things. And sometimes I just had to sit still, come back to my office, I put my fingers on the desk and just sit still and listen to that voice telling me what's my next right move. What's your next right move? Thank you.
Michelle?
Yeah, so as we begin to bring this thing to a close, right, like I am clear, I have heard Mia and Deborah lift up the importance of the source, right? And have you asked God for the thing that you want? Are you moving according to his purpose, right? Is your vision aligned? Pay attention to that. Continue to do the work on yourself. There is a cost to being the boss. And I didn't think I heard one of these ladies say it was a cost that they weren't willing to pay.
Absolutely.
Right? It's been a journey. It will continue to be a journey. It's hard to be the boss as a Black woman. And we just heard 2 stories of where it's been done and being done well. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so very much for joining us, ladies and listeners. We appreciate you. Black women entrepreneurs.
Yes.
We see you. You all are amazing. You are doing amazing things and leaving this incredible imprint on the world and making things better for generations to come. Keep rising, keep shining, keep owning, honoring, and executing. You're amazing. We celebrate you in everything that you do. I can't say it enough. Thank you, Michelle, for always being here with me. We will not be here next week. It is Father's Day weekend and it's Juneteenth weekend. Let's celebrate our amazingness all weekend long. I am Crystal Gunn. I am a Black woman, and I own my amazing.
So one of the things it's important is to celebrate each other. Drop your businesses in the chat. We will come check you out. I promise you.
Yes.
We will do that. Collectively, we can make the shift and own a different part of this economy that we have not owned in the past.
That's right.
My name is Michelle Harper. I am a Black woman, and I absolutely own my amazing. Deborah, Mia, this is how we end every conversation because it is important to speak that which is life back into you. So I invite you, Deborah. Come on in here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This has truly been amazing, guys. Like I said, own your seat at the table. Don't be afraid to jump out. Have belief and faith. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Just do it. And just be brave because it's going to be all right, especially if you have a purpose. Thank you.
You got to give us the mantra. You can't. Lady,
Oh, the mantra.
Listen, let me say it to you again. I am Crystal Gunn. I am a Black woman, and I own my amazing. Come on and give us the mantra.
My name is Deborah Crowley, and I own my amazing.
Mia.
My name is Mia Sharfner, and I own my amazing. And thank you, amazing women, for this opportunity to sit with you today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The Amazing Women Speak podcast, inspiring and motivating every Black woman to own, honor, and execute her amazing, individually and collectively, as it was established at birth.